Hi everyone, we are from Group 1. Here is our team members, Husaiful, Aida, Suliana, Shafira and Afida. We will presenting about the quality education among Asian country.
Knowledge is the key to open many doors in life. When we have access to good quality education, we can use it to become whatever we want. An astronaut, a chef, a doctor. No matter who we are or where we live, when we learn new skills and ideas, our minds grow. And when that happens, we can invent new things that benefit lots of different people. Good education is possible when there are enough teachers, when every student has books and computers and supplies, and when schools are safe and clean. But not every student has the same opportunities to learn. In some countries, girls can't go to school because only boys are allowed to attend. In others, they have responsibilities at home, so they can't go to school. And in some communities, there isn't enough money to pay for important things like teachers, books, and computers. So the number of students in each class is high, meaning not every child gets the education they deserve. But good people everywhere are working hard to make quality education accessible to everyone. In Tanzania, 51% of the population are children, but few attend kindergarten. So the charity Children in Crossfire is giving parents learning materials so they can prepare their kids for primary school at home. In Singapore, government values teachers very highly, so they are paid well for their work and given lots of training to become even better. Together, we can make quality education a reality for everyone, everywhere.
Our objectives were to compare student completion rates, examine teacher experience, and see which factors, like internet access, GNI, and student-teacher ratio, are most related to higher completion. We also tested whether internet access really helps more students finish school, and we predicted future trends for internet growth and student-teacher ratios. To achieve this, we used simple statistical techniques, descriptive analytics to summarize the data, inferential analytics to test differences, correlation analytics to see relationships, hypothesis testing to confirm our assumptions, and predictive analytics to forecast future results. These techniques helped us understand the key factors that influence education outcomes in ASEAN. We start with analysis of the percentage of students who have attended primary, lower secondary and upper secondary school education for each ASEAN country by year. From 2014 until 2024 overall, the findings indicate a consistently high rate of primary education participation throughout the region from 2014 until 2024, with mean percentages ranging from 89.51% to 99.67%. Singapore recorded the highest mean percentage of primary students with mean 99.67% and standard deviation 0.31. From all three analyses run, Singapore still has the highest mean for lower secondary 99.45% and upper 99.31%, with standard deviation increased 0.10 in education level. This suggests that participation or performance at higher education stages is less consistent and more unequal across categories. The data implies that challenges such as accessibility, affordability, or policy differences may contribute to disparities at this level. Next, we look at which country has the highest percentage of students who successfully complete formal education for all three levels. Malaysia recorded the highest percentage of primary level with 99.51%. SD equals 0.24 and lower secondary recorded throughout the year 2014 until 2024 is 96.98%, with standard deviation 1.18. Malaysia has indicated a very strong foundational education system. But for upper secondary, Philippines recorded the highest mean percentage of students who completed the school, which is 70.26%, and SD 1.49. The Philippines leads in upper secondary school completion rates, indicating relatively graduation rates in senior secondary education compared to its regional peers. However, the mean value of 70.26% is substantially lower than those observed at the lower and primary levels, suggesting a significant drop in completion rates as students progress to higher education stages. How about the analysis of country has the lowest percentage of teachers with more than 5 years of teaching experience? As we can see, Cambodia and Thailand recorded the highest mean percentage of teachers with more than 5 years experience teaching the primary and lower secondary school throughout the year 2014 until 2024, with mean 100% SD equals 0.0. The lowest mean value is 74.22% is recorded for Vietnam, VNM, and Timor-Leste, 75.33%, which suggests that both countries have a smaller proportion of experienced teachers at the lower secondary level. Next, we look at the inferential analysis. This analysis examines whether education completion rates in Asean countries are normally distributed across 3 levels: primary, lower secondary, and upper secondary. For the primary level, the mean completion rate is 87.25%, slightly lower than the median of 93.6%, with a skewness of -0.608 and a kurtosis of -1.130, indicating a moderately negative and flat distribution. At the lower secondary level, the mean is 71.33%, median 75.8%, and kurtosis -1.494, showing a highly platykurtic pattern. For upper secondary, the mean is 46.24%, median 51.9%, and kurtosis -1.299, suggesting a mild negative skew and flatter spread overall. All 3 education levels show non-normal distributions, confirmed by the Kolmogorov-Smirnov and Shapiro-Wilk tests, meaning the data deviate significantly from normality. A one-sample chi-square test was conducted to check whether education levels are evenly distributed. The result was statistically significant: chi-squared open parenthesis 3, n equals 999. Close parenthesis equals 1091.919, PA less than 0.001, indicating that the distribution is not even. This means one education level recorded a much higher number of cases compared to the other 2. Now take a look on the correlation and hypothesis that we made based on internet access, teacher experience, and student-teacher ratio. This to find out what factors influence the completion rates and test whether differences in completion rates are statistically significant from the correlation of education level versus internet access. The lower secondary shows a very strong positive relationship, with Pearson 0.976 and Spearman 0.942. This trend shows the students with wider internet availability tend to complete lower secondary education at higher rates, suggesting digital connectivity is a key enabler at this. Next is the trends for completion rate and teacher experience, which the upper secondary shows a weak positive relationship with Pearson 0.370 and Spearman 0.340. It can be concluded that an increase in teacher experience is slightly associated with higher completion rates. On average, does the primary education have higher internet access than the lower secondary education and upper secondary education? Now take a look on this bar chart. It is observed that upper secondary education has the highest mean internet access, followed by lower secondary and finally primary education. This indicates that these findings are consistent with the independent sample's t-test results previous. Based on this correlation test, the dependent attributes is completion, while dependent is GNI, internet access, and student-teacher ratio. What we can say is the completion rate has negative relationship with ratio, SA0E, 19 Pearson, 27 Spearman, which significant, and the teacher experience not significant. Based on this correlation test, the dependent attributes is completion, while dependent is GNI, internet access, and student-teacher ratio. What we can say is the completion rate has negative relationship with ratio, SA0E, 19 Pearson, 27 Spearman, which significant, and the teacher experience not significant. As a conclusion of our forecast, the GNI has a significant positive influence on the completion rate. This indicates that for every 1 unit increase in GNI, the completion rate is expected to increase by 0.003 unit by this mean. If a country's GNI continues to rise, its education completion rate is expected to increase accordingly. Here is our summary. Teacher experience does not consistently correlate with education completion across various levels in ASEAN countries. Completion rate differences are likely affected by policy, resources, socio-economic factors, and school environment. Strong economy, support education, improving economy, increase completion school rate.